Hey there, Switch fans. Welcome back to Level Up Switch. I'm Matt, and today we're diving into something we all love. Short and sweet indie games that you can finish in a single weekend. No 100-hour time sinks here. Just tight, memorable adventures that'll stick with you long after the credits roll. We all know that feeling when you want to play something meaningful, but don't have weeks to invest. Whether you're looking for something chill, a bite-sized emotional roller coaster, or just want to actually finish a game for once, I've got you covered with these indie masterpieces. So grab your Joy-Cons, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's jump into the best indie games on the Nintendo Switch you can finish in one weekend. Kicking things off is A Short Hike, a cozy exploration game that's as charming as it is relaxing. You play as Claire, a little bird who's just trying to get phone reception on a peaceful island. But to do that, you'll need to climb to the top of Hawk Peak Provincial Park. Along the way, you'll meet quirky characters, collect hidden treasures, and glide through a beautiful, pixelated world. The genius of A Short Hike is how it packs so much freedom into such a small package. Want to go fishing? Sure. Feel like racing someone? Go for it. Or just want to explore every nook and cranny? The game rewards your curiosity without overwhelming you. It's heartfelt, wholesome, and you can easily wrap it up in 2 to 3 hours. But trust me, you'll wish it lasted longer, and you might even find yourself starting a new save file right after finishing. At $7.99 on the eShop, it's also incredibly affordable. A Short Hike proves that sometimes the best adventures come in small packages. If you're in the mood for something darker, Inside is a must-play. From the creators of Limbo, this eerie, atmospheric platformer drops you into a mysterious dystopian world with zero dialogue. Just puzzles, suspense, and seriously intense vibes. The gameplay evolves in ways I won't spoil, but let's just say the final act goes places you absolutely won't expect. The physics-based puzzles are clever without being frustrating, and the world building through environmental storytelling is masterclass level. Inside uses light, shadow, and sound design to create a sense of dread that stays with you long after you put the controller down. And that ending, you'll be thinking about it for weeks. It's haunting, clever, and filled with, wait, what just happened? Moments. Best of all, you can finish it in about 3 to 4 hours. Just maybe don't play it right before bed unless you're okay with some seriously weird dreams. Let's lighten things up with Donut County, a hilarious puzzle game where you play as a hole in the ground. Yup. You swallow up everything in sight, from chairs to buildings, and the hole grows bigger the more you eat. It's bizarre, funny, and surprisingly emotional by the end. The story follows BK, a raccoon who accidentally unleashes these holes across town using an app. The whole game is basically a giant metaphor for gentrification and technology addiction, but wrapped in a layer of absurdist humor that keeps it from feeling preachy. Each level introduces new mechanics that keep the gameplay fresh, like using fire to pop popcorn or water to catapult objects. The writing is sharp, the art style is adorable, and you can roll credits in under 2 hours. It's pure, weird joy, and sometimes that's exactly what you need on a quiet weekend. Now, for something that'll hit you right in the feels, To the Moon. This story-driven adventure follows two doctors as they explore a dying man's memories to help fulfill his final wish, going to the moon. Using a special technology, they work backward through his life to implant this desire. The gameplay is simple, mostly just exploring memories and solving light puzzles, but the story, unforgettable. What makes To the Moon special is how it handles themes of love, regret, and memory. It asks big questions. What makes a fulfilling life? Can we change our past? Is it ever too late for redemption? The pixelated art style might look dated at first glance, but it serves the story perfectly, creating a nostalgic atmosphere that matches the memory-diving premise. Expect emotional gut punches, beautiful music, and existential reflections, all in about 4 to 5 hours. If you like narrative games, this one's a must. Just keep tissues nearby. One of the most unique storytelling experiences on Switch is What Remains of Edith Finch. You explore the eerie Finch family home as Edith, the last living member of a family supposedly cursed with early deaths. As you unlock various bedrooms, you relive the final moments of different family members through a series of mini-games, each with its own distinct style and emotional weight.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were.
1 minute you're controlling a child on a swing set. The next, you're a monster devouring people in a comic book. There's even a sequence set in a fish cannery that's one of the most creative uses of gameplay to tell a story I've ever experienced.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
What makes Edith Finch stand out is how it balances the macabre with genuine warmth and whimsy. It's a game about death that somehow celebrates life. It's weird, beautiful, tragic, and only takes around 2 to 3 hours to finish, but man, will it stick with you.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Visually stunning and emotionally powerful, Gris is a game that speaks without saying a word. You guide a girl through a colorless world as she processes grief. And as she heals, the world fills with color and life. What begins in stark grays gradually unfolds into blues, reds, greens, and eventually a full rainbow of emotion. The gameplay evolves as you progress, with each new color adding abilities like swimming, smashing barriers, or manipulating your environment in different ways. There's no combat or fail states. This is about the journey, not the challenge. Mechanically, it's a platformer, but really it's more about emotion than precision jumping. The music by Berlinist perfectly complements the visuals, creating moments of genuine awe as you explore this watercolor world. The game is a metaphor for the stages of grief, but it never beats you over the head with this message. It lets you interpret and experience it in your own way. You can finish it in under 5 hours, and it's a beautiful journey from start to finish that shows games can be genuine art. Need something super chill? Coffee Talk is like playing a warm hug. You run a late-night coffee shop in an alternate Seattle serving drinks to vampires, werewolves, and orcs, while listening to their stories and solving their problems with the perfect latte. What makes Coffee Talk special is its cast of characters, each dealing with relatable problems despite their fantasy backgrounds. There's the elf succubus couple facing disapproval from their families, a writer struggling with creative blocks, and a pop star dealing with the pressures of fame. The gameplay revolves around brewing drinks, choosing the right beans, milk, and extras to make what your customers need. Get the recipe right, and you might just help them solve their problems. It's mostly reading dialogue and relaxing to lo-fi music, and it's easy to finish in about 3 to 4 hours. The story branches based on your interactions, so there's replay value despite its short length. Perfect for a rainy weekend when you want something thoughtful but not demanding. Here's a hidden gem, The Gardens Between, a surreal puzzle game that lets you control time itself. You guide two friends, Arena and Friend, through dreamy islands made of their childhood memories. But instead of controlling the characters directly, you manipulate time forward and backward to solve puzzles and light the way forward. Each island represents a shared memory between these friends. A sleepover, a storm, a day at the arcade, with objects from their past blown up to surreal proportions. The visual style is gorgeous, with a dreamlike quality that perfectly matches the nostalgic theme. What I love about The Gardens Between is how intuitive the controls are, just forward and backward. Yet the puzzles remain creative throughout. The game also tells its story without a single word of dialogue, letting the environments and animations convey everything. It's simple to play, but incredibly smart in its design. And the story about friendship and growing up sneaks up on you in the best way. Total playtime? Around 2 to 3 hours, making it perfect for a lazy Sunday afternoon. This one's pure style. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a rhythm action game that feels like playing through a pop album. After a bad breakup, a young woman's heart breaks, and in her dreams, she becomes a masked heroine, racing through a neon landscape to restore balance to the universe. It's fast-paced, flashy, and totally vibey, with motorcycles, sword fights, and heartbroken goddesses. Each level is essentially a music video where you collect hearts, avoid obstacles, and occasionally battle against a group called the Dancing Devils, all set to an incredible synth-pop soundtrack that I guarantee will end up in your playlists. What makes Sayonara Wild Hearts special is how accessible it is. The game wants you to succeed and feel cool doing it. If you struggle with a section, it offers to let you skip ahead rather than getting frustrated. The soundtrack absolutely slaps. The visuals are wild and it wraps up in just over an hour, but honestly, you'll probably replay it immediately just to experience it all again. It's short but unforgettable. A total weekend winner and a perfect palate cleanser between bigger games. And finally, Florence. This bite-sized game tells the story of love, heartbreak, and personal growth in a way only interactive media can deliver. Through simple interaction, like brushing teeth or arranging puzzle pieces in conversations, you experience the highs and lows of Florence Yo's relationship with a cellist named Gris. What makes Florence special is how it uses game mechanics as metaphor. When Florence first meets Gris, conversations are represented by complex puzzles that take effort to complete. As they grow comfortable with each other, these same puzzles become simpler, showing how communication flows easier in an established relationship. The art style is reminiscent of a graphic novel with no dialogue, just music and sound effects guiding the emotional journey. It's over in about 45 minutes, but the emotional impact? Way bigger than you'd expect from something so short. Seriously, don't skip this one. It proves that games can tell intimate human stories just as effectively as any other medium. Before we wrap up, I want to quickly mention a few other weekend-friendly indies that almost made the list. Unpacking. A zen-like experience where you unpack boxes in different homes across someone's life. It tells a story purely through objects and takes about 4 hours. Journey. This classic finally came to Switch, and it's still a masterpiece. A wordless adventure through a desert that you can complete in about 2 hours. Kentucky Route Zero. It's a bit longer at 6 to 8 hours, but this surreal point-and-click adventure is broken into acts that you can play over a weekend. Firewatch, a beautiful first-person narrative about a fire lookout in Wyoming that deals with isolation and loss. About 4 to 5 hours to complete. Night in the Woods. This one's pushing the weekend limit at 8 to 10 hours, but its story about small-town life and growing up is worth making time for. Any of these would be a great choice for your next gaming weekend if you've already played through my main recommendations. There you have it. 10 amazing indie games on Switch that you can knock out in a weekend, but will stick with you for way longer. I think there's something special about these shorter experiences. They respect your time, deliver focused visions without padding, and often take creative risks that bigger titles can't afford. Whether you're craving chill vibes, deep stories, or stylish gameplay, the eShop is packed with these shorter gems. And they prove you don't need 100 hours to tell a great gaming story. Most of these titles also go on sale frequently, so keep an eye out. You could probably grab 3 or 4 of them for the price of a single AEA release. For next weekend's plans, I'd personally recommend pairing something emotional like Florence or To the Moon with something lighter like Donut County or a short hike for the perfect gaming balance. If you like this list, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Level Up Switch, and let me know in the comments. Which short indie game is your favorite? Or did I miss one that deserves a shout out? Also, let me know if you'd like to see more content like this. Maybe games you can finish in a week, or hidden indie gems under $10. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt, and I'll catch you next time right here on Level Up Switch.